What's up, everybody? MattyTingles here. Just want to give you guys a quick update about the Creator Code podcast. We are coming back for season 2 in January. I just want to let you guys know that I get asked all the time when the podcast is coming back. I just had to focus on other things for the last quarter of this year, as you can probably tell. A lot more videos. We came out with a CBD blend and we did merch, a bunch of stuff, and then I'm traveling for a little bit of December. So January, we're back at it with season 2 of the Creator Code podcast with a ton of new guests that have not been on yet. So we're moving forward. But in order to move forward, we got to look back at where we came from.
Whereas like now when you come on my channel, it's all like different colors. So they all kind of like scream to your face like, hey, pick me, pick me. That's kind of, if you go on your timeline of, YouTube subscriptions, you pass, and if it doesn't like literally slap you in the face with the thumbnail, then people are not going to see it.
The fact that there are people on the internet making a living, especially making YouTube videos, especially making ASMR sounds to make people sleep. Yeah. So to them, there's something that they know for sure that works. And that's, go to college, get a degree and work a traditional career that's going to provide for you and your family.
It honestly feels almost like the less you care, the more it'll be shown.
I know.
And it's very confusing, and I don't quite understand how that all works, but it's very real.
It is so real, and it's so confusing as a creator because we're looking at everything. We're looking at analytics and what people are saying, and again, at the end of the day, it's like, seriously, no one, because look, if someone knew how the algorithm works, they would do it and have 1 billion subscribers. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And like everyone that says that they know and like put out like clickbait titles, like, yeah, there's probably some stuff to like take from those, but like it's always changing, and like trends always change. And
so I know that you do like scripts and stuff, which is
That's how I feel about it. I mean, I don't do scripts for a lot of my videos. I would say it's probably like 15% of my videos are scripted.
It's so good though. It's like, I wish that I had the patience to sit down and write.
Oh, me too.
Oh,
I really hate doing it. I'm not gonna lie.
Anyway, just know, like, if you're out there and you're creating and you because I've had people that say like, I feel weird reading things while I'm just know that that's very normal, and I do it too, even for something that I think that I'm knowledgeable.
No, for sure. I mean, at one point I even looked into a teleprompter because me too. I don't like memorizing really long scripts. Like, I'll only do a script if its parts are scripted or if I can reference frequently or something like that. Or like you with the shoes, I'll make notes. And then it's like, you come back to this point, ad lib, come back to this point, right? As kind of like a way of like centering it, of like, it's supposed to follow this general plot. But I did look into a teleprompter at one point, and like I had done teleprompting stuff for live TV. And then when I tried to do it for a video, I was like, this looks weird.
I think the biggest thing to understand that maybe sometimes is lost is that like subscribers isn't what you based fees off of. Like that. Exactly. It's a great way to build a larger audience for your future videos. But what matters to brands is consistency and the views on a particular video. So if you're going 10,000, 500,000, 10,000, 500,000, that's cool. And your average is 250, but a brand isn't going to want to take a risk and price you at 250 because there's a chance that it doesn't work out. Right. So I'd say just know that pricing is really like, unfortunately, the brands are playing a broad game. There are a ton of channels out there, and they are unfortunately just looking at metrics. And I think the biggest things to do are have consistency and price yourself based on your average views. What that is, again, ultimately, it's important to set a minimum that you feel comfortable with. So know like, hey, I'm not going to take less than this because I don't want to promote something at a lower rate. But generally, like, price it based on your average views. I think we normally like on the low end, if you're getting lower than like $10 per 1,000 views, they're milking money off of it
for sure.
So I'd say those are the offers that you can say like, no thanks. Where like that you're trying to find people that are uneducated about this and get them to promote it and make a huge margin.
It's just like having that
one-on-one interaction or like an intimate interaction with the community is like people will pay because they appreciate that space so much. Yeah.
I try to post as much as I can. Sometimes I'll go like a few days without posting, just so I can like focus on like other things like YouTube videos or streaming or just some other kind of content, because there's so many things that I'm like, I feel like I'm doing. Just one has to like sit for a few days.
Exactly.
But I try to post as much as I can because I want to make the content on there fun and like worth it and everything.
And the thing is if you go into the copyright claim and you click submit a dispute, I mean, they really make it seem like if you submit this dispute, you're in trouble. Basically, it's like you have to say, well, do you think this is fair use? And then you click yes. And then it says, just to clarify, this is what fair use is. Is yours fair use? And you're like, yes. And it's on and on. And so I was terrified to submit a dispute.
Right.
What I thought I would get a strike on my channel if it got denied, but that's actually not true. You can submit a dispute on every single video. It does not penalize your channel at all. I mean, just submit a dispute that you feel is like valid, you know, but it does not hurt your channel.
But I'm just so glad that people are still watching after 5 years, because I kind of went into it with the mentality that like, you know, YouTubers have a shelf life that is very short and only a few years long, and that's the reality of it. And like the fact that people are still watching is like really means a lot. That
honestly, that's kind of what I thought too, because I was watching you know, I think my favorite of all time is Heather. And I remember like watching her stuff, and then when things started to kind of wind down, I was like, oh man, like okay, so maybe I do this for 3 years or so, you know what I mean? Like that shelf life is real. But I think just like we talked about earlier, like things are changing, and I think things are just kind of, I don't know. I personally think shelf life is a little longer now.
People are staying online.
It's really hard to take off. But I know in my case, since I'm a full-time streamer, it's really hard for me to make original YouTube content because I'm so busy with streaming. And so a lot of that content that goes to YouTube is just stream content. I'm sure if I developed more original content just for that YouTube channel, like on a frequent basis, I'm sure it would actually like start doing really well. It's just the lack of time since streaming's my focus. And who knows, it might be the same vice versa, where like people are focusing on YouTube, their YouTube's doing well, but they can't devote like a consistent, like every day, like 8 hours of streaming schedule.
You know, I've never spoke on something that I don't believe in, you know, so I will always be speaking exactly how, you know, I think and believe in what I want to do. And I think growing the hobby, those conversations just aren't happening right now in any sort of space. And I think a lot of stuff has gone unchecked for a very long time as well. So I guess that's why I'm trying to improve these conversations.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Ew, she has a boyfriend. Like, there's people who stake claims on me. I'm like, I don't know you. Never knew you. I'm not going to guarantee myself to nobody. The only thing I can commit to is a crime. Billie Eilish said it best. But the only thing I commit to is a crime. But I started dating KJ, and he was already my best friend. He was already in my comment section when he was my best friend, and people knew him from my comment section. So when we started dating and we actually came out as dating, they're like, is this a joke? Like, it's just a subscriber. And I was like,
how many days of a week are you filming?
So at the moment, at least right now, it's literally like every day, like 1 or 2 videos every day. But because I've started Twitch streaming, sometimes I just don't film in the day, and I film 2 videos the day before or something. So But in terms of like scheduling, I upload like, at least at my time, it's like 8 a.m. every other day. I don't change it. Sometimes I might accidentally upload earlier, but yeah.
Sure. Season 1 was a blast. We will be back. The Critical Podcast Season 2. Make sure that you're following, subscribed on here. Make sure you're following on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you're following so you know when that Season 2 drops. All right? This is a perfect time to catch up if you've not watched the previous episodes, and we'll be back. The Critical Podcast. Peace.